The worst thing that can happen to a person is you become civilized. There's a new bar that you must always set in your life. And once you become complacent and you become civilized, you've arrived, you're no good for anybody. You get to that point where you believe that you've arrived, and that's exactly when it's over. That mindset right there, to me, is death. You believe that you've arrived. When you, my God, man, I'm up there near Michelle Obama on my book. I've done it, man. Mm-hmm. I'm good.
You can coast.
I'm good.
You don't
man.
have to do her.
I ain't got to do her.
You played your man card.
I don't have to be a wildland firefighter, man. I retired from the military. I ain't got to go out there and dig fire line for 3 miles. I'm 43, man. I've done it.
You should just be flying first class everywhere and doing speeches and getting paid crazy cash.
And laying in a hotel, kicking it, man. And that's exactly when it's over. That mindset right there, to me, is death. I'm not saying you can go as hard as you did when you were 20 or now at 43, but there's a new bar that you must always set in your life. And once you become complacent and you become civilized, you've arrived, you're no good for anybody.
And how do you keep that bar high when most challenges now, I would imagine, seem trivial compared to what you've endured?
They are. I go back to the sewer, and the sewer is that $7 a month place I once lived in as a young kid. So even though... Mentally, and I always talk about it. I'm always paying rent in that $7 a month place where I grew up, in that nasty little place I grew up in. I remember it. I remember like it was yesterday, and I'm glad I do. I never want to forget the dungeon of where I come from. Even though it's real spooky and it's scary and there's no lights on in there and there's cobwebs and some creepy and there's some demons, all those in there made me Goggins, made me who I am today. That's where the strength came from. You got to go back to the beginning, to the fundamentals of life, to the very fundamentals of where it all, like playing basketball. You got to go back to the fundamentals. You can't always just stay up here. You got to go back to scratch. And that's how you get better.
The challenge becomes staying in tune with that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because life's getting better and easier for you and bigger, and there's more demands on your time.
I'm always going to ask my fiance, my conversation on a weekly basis is I cannot get away from who I am. Who I am is who I'm proud of. I'm very proud of the hardworking, calloused hands, calloused mind, human being that I literally made this person with a lot of help from above, a lot of guidance from saying you're gonna go left and you should go right. That horrible voice that wouldn't let me get away from myself and hide forever. I listened to it. And the only way you can set the example is you have to always be willing to work. I don't follow people who talk about what they used to do in life. I don't care that, you used to be the basketball. I don't care. What are you doing today? You may not be that person now, but what are you still doing to try to excel in life? And a lot of people now are talking. I hear so much talk. I don't hear a lot of work. I hear a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, how you should be living. And I look at them and you're fat, you're out of shape, you look like shit, but you're telling them how to live. No, man, I want to listen to you. And that's what bothered me a lot in the military. There's a lot of people talking shit. I don't see the real suffering behind it, behind what you're saying. That internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a real, scary, unfiltered, no lying dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what I'm talking about when you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kind of shit. That's who you really are. That's the real you. No Rocky Balboa moments going on up there. Yeah. You're like, hey, it's round 14. Let's come on. We got this. No, it's like, I'm out of here, man. This is crazy. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk yourself back of wherever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away. But as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's where the growth starts to happen, is when you have to force yourself to stay in it. You can't leave it.